Hi. A little over 3 years ago, I published a video that was entitled Connecting a Nest Hello Wi-Fi Door Camera to a NuTone Intercom System or Electronic Door Chime. And that's been a very popular video, and the idea behind that video was the Wi-Fi door cameras were becoming an ever more popular item that people wanted to add to their homes, and they didn't understand how to do an installation where the Wi-Fi door camera would work as it was intended, but also if you had a NuTone Intercom System or a NuTone Electronic Musical Door Chime, that it would also be able to activate the Chime module in the intercom system or the musical electronic door chime. Back in those days, we were besieged with phone calls from people about, how do I do this? There must be a way. Frankly, the idea behind a short series of videos culminating in the one I just told you about was because basically I got tired of trying to explain it to people, and most people really couldn't understand what you had to do during a phone conversation or in a follow-up email. Fortunately, a fellow contacted me at that time, and he wanted to install the Google Nest Hello camera in his home, and he had a NuTone Intercom System. He said that he would be willing to send me the Google Nest camera kit, all the equipment that he had bought, if I would be willing to make a video that showed how to do the installation, which was a good deal. Now, one of the things you all have to understand at this point in this video is there isn't any way at all for the dozens of different cameras that different companies make that I'm going to go out and spend my hard-earned money and buy these cameras that cost anywhere from $100 to $250 a piece and make a dozen different videos about a dozen different kinds of cameras. Can't do it, not going to do it. It's too much money, it's too much hassle. And the other problem with trying to do something like that is a lot of these companies update their products on a fairly regular basis, anywhere from a year to a year and a half or 2 years, and that means the videos have a very short shelf life, and I'm not going to spend $2,000 or $3,000 of my dollars every couple years to buy equipment to make you all videos. I'm making this video today because this is going to be an update to the original video that I told you about. During the course of this video, there's going to be a lot of those pop-up things that pop up here that take you to other videos, and those videos you will need to watch, especially the connecting a Nest Hello Wi-Fi door camera to a NuTone Intercom System or electronic door chime video, because that's the fundamental video that you need the information from for this update video to make sense. I am not going to recreate that entire video today. I'm going to talk about the changes that have gone on in the world of Wi-Fi cameras and the changes that have to be made to do an installation like that. So you need the basic fundamental information from that video to have this video make sense. There will also be in this video's description down below on our YouTube page for this video, if you click the show more button, it will expand out and there'll be links to all of the other videos that you may need to watch. If you're willing to do and put together a project to install a Wi-Fi door camera and connect it to your NuTone Intercom System, you better be willing to do the research and learn how to do it first before you begin. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe you'll blow something up like your intercom system. Before we begin with this, which is coming up in a few minutes, you should also know in this video, I don't have any of this newer equipment. I don't have anybody who's willing to lend me some equipment to use in a video like this, so I cannot at any point show you on the workbench how to wire it all up and that it actually does work. What you need to understand, and what we're going to talk about first before we start with this, is the underlying concept of what we're going to be doing and how it makes it work with activating the Chime module or an electronic musical chime that you already have in your home. There's a long list of companies that make Wi-Fi door cameras. There's Google makes one, Amazon makes one, there's a company called Skybell that makes one, there's some company called WiFi that makes one. There's a whole bunch of companies nowadays that make these different cameras. One of the things about almost all of these types of cameras are they can be installed in a home that has a standard mechanical 2-note doorbell. Not a house that has an intercom system, not a house that has a electronic musical chime, just your dead standard 2-note ding dong doorbell, just like this one. This is a NuTone door chime. It's like any other 2-note door chime that pretty much you would see in the world. And basically what you have is this center portion is called the power assembly. Normally they have 3 connections on it. One of them says trans for transformer, one of them says front for the front door button, and one says rear for the rear door button. Nothing special about this. You can go down to your local Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace Hardware and you can buy some version of something like this for probably as little as like $12 or $15. They're not expensive. They're just your dead standard cheapy kind of doorbell. In the power unit assembly here with the plungers that move up and down, there are 2 electromagnetic coils. So here's another power unit assembly. This is one I've taken out of the chime to make it easier to show you. And if you look on the side here, you can see here this coil of copper wire. And if we flip it around on this side, here's another coil of copper wire. This has 2 electromagnetic coils in them. And when you put electricity through a coil like this, it makes a magnetic force and it makes the plunger go down. And then you release the button and the spring makes it pop back up. If you remember any of this from your 7th grade junior high science class, raise your hand, because that's where you learn about that kind of stuff. At least I did when I was growing up. Most all of these cameras have the ability to activate an electromagnetic coil in a standard 2-note mechanical doorbell. In those companies' literature or in their wanky installation instructions, it shows you how to do that. Almost all of the Wi-Fi door cameras, which have the ability to activate a standard mechanical 2-note doorbell that you already have in your house, use some type of device, perhaps something like this. This happens to be one that I have lying here around the shop. This is from the Ring Doorbell Company, and they call it a Pro Power Kit. Whatever they call it, typically I just refer to them generically as a power device. 3 years ago, when I made the original video, the one you're gonna go and click on the little tab and watch, those power devices typically would have had 4 individual wires, just like this. Got a green wire, a red wire, a black wire, and a white wire. And this was sort of the common configuration 3 years ago for a power device like this one. What seems to have happened over the last perhaps 6 months or so is a lot of these companies have come out with new Wi-Fi door cameras, and now the power devices, instead of having 4 wires, are more like this, and they only have 2 wires. This would have had a little connector that plugs in the hole on the side, and there would have only been 2 wires that come out of the device. This is where the problem has begun to reoccur with people calling me, because people call and say, I watched your video, the one that's entitled Connecting a Nest Hello Wi-Fi Door Camera to a NuTone Intercom System or Electronic Door Chime, the one you're going to go and watch. And in that video, you show how to wire it up with a power device with 4 wires, but now the camera I just bought, whether it's a Ring or a Nest or a Eufy or a Skybell or whatever kind it is you might have bought, now it only has 2 wires, and I don't know what to do. But it's a reasonable question because the video apparently has become moderately outdated. Now, we're going to jump ahead just a little bit, and then we're going to come back to this point again. The secret, the magic device, the thing that makes all of this possible, makes it possible to install a Wi-Fi door camera like this one when you have a NuTone Intercom system like this that has a built-in Chime module, which is your doorbell throughout the house. The magic device that allows all of this on this side to operate with this on this side is this little thing right here. It's called a relay. And a relay is an automatic switch that you can turn on and off to make it do things. When I made the first video a little over 3 years ago, there were follow-up videos. Again, there'll be links and things that you can go see that. And we came up with this. This is one of our little rectifier relay board assemblies. It's very, very simple. It's a little perforated project board. It has a little miniature relay on it, and it has a little rectifier device. A rectifier device is a device that takes AC power, like that powers your camera and your doorbell, and converts it into DC power, which is what makes the relay turn on and off. You don't have to worry about this. This is a tried and true way of doing this. We have provided thousands of these to people. They work just great, and it's very easy. And as you can see, it has 4 wires, which we'll get back to in just a little bit. The reason that this works, the reason that this is the magic device, is inside the little relay, the little black box right here. Inside here is, wait for it, an electromagnetic coil. Where have you heard that before? Electromagnetic coil. Oh, I know. It's when we were talking about the doorbell power device that has the electromagnetic coils in them that make it go ding dong. In the drawing of our relay here, this little curlicue thing on the left is a representation of an electromagnetic coil. So this is the important part, so pay attention. So why is it that we can take a Wi-Fi door camera that uses a power device like this to activate a standard mechanical 2-note doorbell and make it activate a relay? Well, because this is designed to activate the coil in a doorbell, but we're going to trick it. We're going to fool it. We're going to be extra clever, and we're not going to tell it, but instead of activating the coil in a doorbell, we're going to make it activate the coil in the relay, because a coil is a coil is a coil is a coil. It doesn't matter. The device doesn't know what the coil is for. It only knows that it's a coil. That's the secret to the whole thing. If you can activate the coil in the relay, that causes the contacts, the switch in the relay, to close, and closing the switch in the relay is just like pushing the doorbell button on your door station for your NuTone Intercom system that makes the door chime that's built into the system activate and ring. There are some cameras out there which do not have the ability to activate a door chime in your house. If you had one of these and you choose one of those cameras, this has to be taken out, and then this whole thing is not possible. They don't have that ability designed into them. If you're going to try to do this, you have to choose a camera that has the ability of ringing a standard 2-note doorbell. Now we get to do this. This drawing on the whiteboard is a reproduction of the drawing in the original video, the one that's entitled Connecting a Nest Hello Wi-Fi Door Camera to a NuTone Intercom System or Electronic Door Chime. And I drew it as close to the original one as I possibly could. So what do we have here? What are we looking at? Here we have a NuTone Intercom System. See, it says intercom. Inside the intercom system we have this. That would be the Chime Module. That's the part of the intercom system that makes the doorbell sounds throughout all the speakers in your house. The intercom system is powered by 2 low voltage transformers. In this case, there's 2 16-volt AC transformers, and they're both rated at 30 watts, or more modernly referred to as 30 VA. Up here you have your front door entry station, which is the one on your front porch by your front door, referred to as a door speaker, because that's what most people call it. And on your door speaker, you have a doorbell push button, and it's wired to the Chime module. So when a visitor comes up and pushes the button, it activates the Chime module, and you hear the doorbell sounds through all those speakers in your house. All of this, door speaker, wires, intercom, transformers, Chime module, all of that here, you already have. And you're not going to really be making any changes to any of that. Everything that we're going to talk about is what's going to happen from this line where the screwdriver is down this way. The things that you're going to need to install your new fancy Wi-Fi door camera and make it ring the Chime module in your intercom system are a Wi-Fi door camera of some form or another, whatever power device comes with it, and I assume they all come with it standard. If not, then you'll have to buy that along with it. And yes, it has to be from the same company that makes the camera. You cannot intermix them. You need a relay, and you can either get the little relay board that we make, or if you go to the original video down in the video description, there's links to the parts to build the board if you want to do it yourself, and there's also a video that shows how to put it together. So you need the relay board, and you need a third transformer. These 2 transformers are exclusively for powering the intercom system. In most installations, they are not appropriate to power the intercom system and the Wi-Fi camera, and I'm not going to get into why. Take my word for it, or watch more videos where I explain why. So you need a dedicated transformer to to power the new Wi-Fi camera you just bought. Generally speaking, these Wi-Fi cameras give you sort of a range of voltages that it will work on. They're all AC voltages, not DC. DC is plus and minus. That's not what you want. You want an AC transformer. And for the most part, they give you a range of somewhere between like 8 and 24 volts. And nobody's doing 8-volt transformers. This is not 1950. Most commonly, what you would want is a 16-volt transformer, because 16 is an easy voltage to find a transformer in. In my opinion, you need at least 15 watts or 15 VA at a minimum. What you really need to do is you need to look in your Wi-Fi camera manufacturer's instructions and see what size transformer they recommend. Whatever they say, that's what you should buy. So again, you have the Wi-Fi camera, the power device that goes with the camera, the transformer that powers the Wi-Fi camera, and therefore the power device, and then the magic device that lets these things talk to these things, which is the relay. So now I'm going to show you how to wire this up based on the most common instructions that I've been able to find for power devices that only have 2 wires. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how the wiring would be connected to make this all work and activate this over here. So the first thing you have to do is you have to take a wire and you have to connect it from one terminal of the transformer to one terminal on the Wi-Fi camera. And that would be essentially like this. So this wire, brown wire, is connected from one terminal on the transformer to one terminal on the back of the camera. The next connection you have to make is from the other terminal on the transformer to one of the terminals or one of the wires for the coil in the relay. And that would be like this. Like that. Very simple. Now, what you have to do is you have to make a connection between the second terminal on the Wi-Fi camera to the other terminal on the coil. Like that. As a recap, we have one wire that goes from one terminal on the transformer to one terminal on the camera. We have one wire that goes from the second terminal on the transformer to one side of the coil in the relay, and a third wire that goes from the second terminal on the Wi-Fi camera to the other end of the coil on the relay. If you use a relay board like ours, this connection and this connection are the 2 red wires. Now for the most important part. We have to wire the power device into the circuit to make it activate the relay, because right now it's not going to activate the relay when someone pushes the button on the camera. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one wire from your power device, and remember your power device only has 2 wires in it, not 4, only 2. One wire from the power device goes around and connects to the bottom of the coil in the relay. The other wire from the power device goes around and connects to the top coil of the relay. On the relay, on the red wires, if you buy one of ours, you're going to have 2 wires connected to one red wire and 2 different wires connected to the other red wire. And that's all you have to do. Now there's 2 more connections you have to make. So we have to connect the switch to the wires on the back of the original doorbell push button for your intercom system. And what we're going to do is we're simply going to take a wire from this contact in the relay and we're going to loop it around and connect it to one wire on the back of the push button. And then we're going to take another wire from the other contact in the relay and loop it around and connect it to the other wire on the back of the push button. So now what will happen is when someone pushes the button on the camera will turn on and work as it's supposed to, and you have your app on your phone and all of those good things. The power device senses that someone's pushed the button. It thinks it's connected to a standard 2-note doorbell, but in reality, it's actually connected to the relay. it will energize the coil in the relay, causing the contacts to close. The contacts are wired to the back of the push button. The intercom system acts as if someone walked up and pushes the button. And then the chime module rings and you hear it through all the speakers in your house. See, that's easy. That's all you got to do. What I can tell you is it's not that hard, but it'll be a lot of work. You have to find a place to install a transformer, and then you have to run the appropriate wiring to connect everything up. The easiest way to do that for most people is to put some of this behind this up here. One of the things I know that happens, because I talk to a zillion people about all of this, is a lot of people, when they decide to install a Wi-Fi camera on their front porch, they don't want the Wi-Fi camera and the original door speaker next to each other. They don't like the idea of two things on the front porch. They only want one thing and have a nice, neat, clean looking installation. So what a lot of people will do is they will sacrifice the actual door station and buy one of these adapter plates that different companies make for the Wi-Fi cameras. They'll put the adapter plate in place of the original door station, and then the camera mounts on the adapter plate. This gives you an opportunity because behind your door speaker will be something like this. This happens to be from a NuTone system. This is a NuTone IR6, which is an entry door station mounting box. This is a nice deep box. It's about 2 inches deep, and it's a nice size here. And this is also where the wires for your push button come through. Also wires for the door speaker for communication, which if you're taking out this all together, you're giving up the communication. But for a lot of people, they don't seem to care. If you have this behind your door station, this gives you a place where you can actually put things, because it's a nice size box that will hold things. And that's why, for instance, we made the relay board the size we did, because the relay board fits in here very nicely, doesn't take up a lot of room, easily can go in there. Also, if you have some sort of power device like this, that can go in there also. It also gives you a place that you can run the wires from the transformer that have to go to the camera. You can also run those into this box, because you're going to put the adapter plate on top of it and then the camera on top of the adapter plate, and everything is all in here. And it's a nice, neat, easy way to do it. It's totally accessible later on because you can take the camera and the adapter plate off and here's all your stuff inside. And that makes it a nice, neat, clean, easy installation. The two biggest mistakes people make when they try to do this themselves are, one, they don't gather enough information about what it is they're actually going to be doing. I cannot tell you how many people have called me and they said, I'm trying to install my Wi-Fi door camera and I have a NuTone intercom system and I can't make it work and I saw your video. And then I'll ask them, did you watch the entire video? Well, I watched some of it. Okay, some of it is not good enough. I'm pretty sure that if you had to go to the hospital and you needed to have open heart surgery, you wouldn't want your doctor to tell you, well, you know, I went to most of the classes. You know, you want a guy that went to all the classes. And if you're going to do this, you need to watch all of the videos. The other mistake people make, people don't plan out what they're going to do. They get a bunch of stuff and it's Saturday morning and I'm going to go put this in today. They haven't really thought or planned about how they're actually going to do it. For someone who has never done anything like this before and doesn't do wiring and fish wires and walls and all of that sort of stuff, the kinds of things that I do, you need a plan. As someone told me once a long time ago, no one is really good at doing anything the first time. So make a plan, figure it out, figure out how you're going to run the wires, where you're going to drill the holes, how you're going to hook it all up, and all of those kind of things so you're more comfortable with what it is you're doing. I'm not going to do a giant review of all of this because you can just rewind the video, watch it again and again and again, which is probably not a bad idea. What I will review is the fact that you need to watch other videos. You need to go and watch the video entitled Connecting a Nest Hello Wi-Fi Door Camera to a NuTone Intercom System or Electronic Door Chime. You need to watch that video. There's going to be links and things all over the place. As much as I can possibly put in this video, there'll be links at the very end of this video. If you watch the whole thing, you'll see those and other things you need to go look for, and you can look at other videos in the playlist. You need the education to understand how to do this. So that's my biggest recommendation is plan, learn, figure it all out before you ever pick up a screwdriver to do anything. I hope you found this interesting, and perhaps for someone it will be helpful. If it is, give it a thumbs up on YouTube because that helps us just a little bit. There'll be a banner right here that shows you how to subscribe. Go to our YouTube homepage, click on the bell, and when you click on the bell, click on it to receive all notifications, and every time we post a new video, you'll get a notification and you can watch it. That's all for today. See you on the next video.